All right, so, weight loss, it's something pretty much everyone thinks about at some point. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
And you sent over this podcast episode called "Lose Weight Without Starving: Practical Tips for Lasting Results." And
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, that title alone,
Right.
right? Like, who wouldn't be interested in that?
For sure.
Because it seems like, every time you turn around, there's another fad diet
Right.
promising, like, you're going to lose 1,000,000 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this one seems like it's kind of getting at this idea that you don't have to be miserable. Like, you don't have to starve yourself to actually,
Well,
see results.
it is about sustainability. A lot of people get caught up in that quick fix mentality, and that can really backfire.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've totally been there myself.
Hmm.
Um, but the episode actually jumps right into, like, debunking these starvation diets, which, let's be honest, sound absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
It basically says that instead of, like, magically melting away fat, these extreme diets can actually slow down your metabolism,
Hmm.
which then makes it even harder to lose weight. It's almost like your body is working against you.
Yeah, and
Right
that's
there.
because your body doesn't know you're intentionally trying to restrict calories, right? It thinks you're in a famine.
Oh, wow.
So when you drastically cut your calorie intake, it goes into survival mode and tries to conserve energy. So, that means it slows down processes like the breakdown of nutrients and the building of new tissues.
So it's like you're actually sabotaging your own, like,
Yeah,
weight loss goals.
exactly.
Uh,
And, the episode quotes Dr. Maria Lopez, who specializes in nutrition, and she said, weight loss should never come at the expense of your health. And that's so important for people to remember, nourishing your body, it's just as important as reaching, whatever that number is on the scale.
Yeah, that's a really powerful message.
Yeah.
So if we're not supposed to starve ourselves, then what does, like, a healthy approach to weight loss even look like?
Well, the episode outlines a few really practical tips for achieving lasting results without deprivation. And one of the key strategies is focusing on nutrient-dense foods.
Okay, so instead of, like, obsessing over calories, we should be thinking about the nutritional value of what we're eating.
Yeah. So foods that are rich in nutrients but relatively low in calories can actually help you feel fuller for longer.
Okay.
So think about things like leafy greens, lean proteins, whole grains.
Hmm.
They're packed with vitamins and minerals that keep your body functioning optimally.
So it's not just about, like, feeling full, it's also about
Right.
giving your body the fuel it needs
Yes.
to thrive.
Precisely. Nutrient-dense foods, they not only provide sustained energy, but they also help regulate hormones that play a role in hunger and satiety.
Hmm.
For instance, they can stimulate the release of leptin, which is a hormone that signals to your brain that you're
Huh.
full, while also reducing ghrelin, the hormone that triggers hunger pangs.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I feel like so many diets I've seen, they try to eliminate entire food groups, which always just seems like so unsustainable to me.
Right.
This episode, though, seems to be, like, advocating for more of a balanced approach.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
The episode talks about the importance of portion control, not elimination. So you can still enjoy your favorite foods,
okay.
but it's about being mindful of the quantities. And actually, Dr. James Carter, he's a nutritionist interviewed in the episode, and he makes a great point when he says, deprivation often leads to binging, so balance is key.
Yeah, and that's such a struggle, I think,
Hmm.
that a lot of people can relate to. Like, you tell yourself you can't have something, and then all you want is that thing
Yeah.
that you're not supposed to have. So how do you find that balance without constantly feeling like you're restricting yourself?
Well, it might sound simple, but one effective strategy is using smaller plates. It kind of tricks your brain into thinking you're eating a larger portion than
Uh,
you actually are.
okay. What are some other ways that people can, like, practice portion control without feeling deprived?
One helpful tip is to pre-portion snacks. So instead of mindlessly munching out of, a family-sized bag of chips,
Right.
divide them into smaller portions beforehand.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Takes away the temptation to overeat. The episode also talks about the importance of protein and weight management. And I've always heard that protein is key for feeling full. But why is that?
Well, protein has a higher thermic effect compared to carbohydrates and fats, meaning your body actually expends more energy digesting and processing it.
Hmm.
It also helps stabilize blood sugar levels, which prevents those energy crashes that can lead to cravings.
So it's almost like protein is giving your metabolism, like, a little boost.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
It also helps build and maintain muscle mass. and muscle tissue burns more calories at rest than fat tissue.
Hmm.
So it's a win-win situation.
So incorporating more protein into our meals can help us feel fuller for longer and increase our calorie burn. That sounds like a recipe for success.
Yeah.
Speaking of recipes,
Yeah.
what are some easy ways to make sure we're getting enough protein throughout the day?
Well, I mean, there are tons of delicious and convenient options out there.
Okay.
You could start your day with Greek yogurt
Okay.
or eggs,
Mm-hmm.
both excellent sources of protein for
Yeah.
lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on lean meats,
Okay.
fish, or plant-based proteins like beans and lentils.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't forget about snacks,
Right.
a handful of nuts.
Yeah.
Or a protein shake can help tide you over between meals.
That reminds me of something else the episode touches on, which
Hmm.
is the importance of staying hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to forget about water
Right.
when you're so focused on food.
Yeah.
But the episode points out that thirst can sometimes be mistaken for hunger, leading to unnecessary snacking.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Right.
Staying properly hydrated is crucial for overall health and can definitely play a role in managing weight because when you're dehydrated, your body might misinterpret those signals as hunger cues
Oh, wow.
and lead you to, reach for a snack when what you really need is just a glass of water.
It's amazing how something so simple as drinking enough water can have such an impact.
Right.
So how much water should we be aiming for each day?
Well, the general guideline is 8 glasses.
Okay.
But it really varies from person to person.
Okay.
Factors like your activity level, the climate you live in, and even your overall health can influence your hydration needs.
Okay.
The best approach is to listen to your body
Hmm.
and drink when you feel thirsty.
It seems like we're constantly being bombarded with information
Yeah,
about what we should and shouldn't be doing for our health.
right.
It can be overwhelming, honestly.
It is. It is a lot.
This episode, though, seems to offer a really practical and manageable approach.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think about this idea of meal planning, which they also mention as a tool for avoiding impulsive food choices.
Yeah.
I've tried meal planning in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but it always felt a bit too rigid for me.
I get that
Yeah.
meal planning shouldn't feel like a chore or
Yeah.
a restriction.
Yeah.
It's more about having a roadmap for your meals.
Okay.
So you're not caught off guard and tempted to make unhealthy choices just out of convenience or sheer hunger.
So it's more about setting yourself up for success.
Yeah.
Rather than creating a strict set of rules.
Exactly.
Right.
Meal planning can be as flexible as you need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It can be as simple as jotting down some meal ideas for the week,
Yeah.
or as detailed as prepping ingredients and even, entire meals in advance. It's all about finding what works best for you and your lifestyle.
I think what I like most about this approach
Mm-hmm.
is that it seems to emphasize the long game rather than quick fixes.
Yeah.
They even talk about things like sleep and stress management,
Yeah.
which aren't always directly associated with weight loss in my mind.
Right, but they're absolutely connected. When we're sleep deprived or chronically stressed,
Yeah.
our bodies produce hormones that can increase appetite, slow down metabolism,
Wow.
and even promote fat storage.
So it's like working against ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So it's not just about what we eat,
Right.
but how we live our lives overall.
Precisely.
Okay. This episode has really been packed with practical advice and insightful perspectives.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It feels less like a lecture on weight loss and more like a conversation about how to live a healthier and happier life overall.
Right.
What stands out to you as the most impactful takeaway from this episode?
For me, it's the emphasis on shifting our focus from dieting to creating a sustainable lifestyle.
Okay.
It's not about punishing ourselves with restrictions and deprivation,
Mhm.
but rather about making choices that support our overall well-being.
Yeah.
It's about finding a way of eating that we can enjoy and maintain for the long haul.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It feels like such a refreshing perspective.
It is.
It's about making peace with food and our bodies,
Yeah,
not waging war against them.
for sure.
This deep dive has definitely left me feeling inspired and motivated to
Right.
continue my own journey towards a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
But what about our listeners? What's one small step that they can take today to start applying what they've learned?
I think a great first step could be like just becoming more aware of their eating habits.
Yeah.
Maybe like keeping a food journal for a few days.
Hmm.
Not to like judge themselves, but
Well,
just to notice patterns.
and like potential areas for improvement.
That's an excellent suggestion.
Yeah.
Once they have a better understanding of their current habits, they can start making small, gradual changes.
Mm.
It could be as simple as swapping out, sugary drinks for water or adding an extra serving of vegetables to their meals.
And it's not about being perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
Every healthy choice they make is a step in the right direction.
Mm.
And those small steps can add up to big changes over time.
This deep dive has really made me think about all the different aspects that contribute to a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
We've talked about nourishing our bodies with nutrient-dense foods,
Mm-hmm.
finding a balance with portion control,
Right.
incorporating protein,
Huh.
staying hydrated, planning our meals, and even like managing stress and sleep.
It's all interconnected.
Right.
Weight management is not just about calories in and calories out. It's about taking a holistic approach and addressing all these different factors that influence our overall well-being.
The the episode we discussed today provided like so many practical tips,
Yeah.
but it didn't really touch on something I've been hearing a lot about lately, which is intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you explored that at all?
Yeah, intermittent fasting has gained a lot of attention recently.
Okay.
And it's definitely an interesting approach.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on what you eat, it emphasizes when you eat,
Okay.
incorporating periods of fasting into your routine.
Hmm.
Some studies suggest it can have benefits for metabolic health,
Mm-hmm.
but more research is needed.
It's fascinating how much there still is to learn about nutrition and weight management.
Yeah,
It seems like the science is constantly evolving.
it definitely is.
Right.
What we know today might be different tomorrow, which is why it's so important to stay curious, keep learning,
Yeah.
and be open to new information.
The key is to find what works best for you,
Yeah.
your body, and your lifestyle.
For sure.
And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Right.
There are so many resources available from registered dietitians to online communities
Yeah.
to support you on your journey.
That's a great point.
Right.
Don't hesitate to reach out for guidance and support.
Yeah.
There are people who are passionate about helping you achieve your health goals.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has.
It's reminded me that sustainable weight management is not about deprivation or quick fixes.
Right.
It's about creating a healthy and enjoyable lifestyle that nourishes your body and mind.
Absolutely.
And it's a journey, not a destination.
Well said.
Right.
It's about making choices that support your overall well-being one step at a time.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into healthy weight loss.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We hope you found this information valuable and empowering. Until next time, happy deep diving.
Ah!